People are going to constantly judge us, whether we go after big dreams or do nothing. We're going to be judged. Either way, if we sit on a couch all day, our parents and our friends are going to be, you're lazy, do something with your life. If we go chase after the most audacious dreams we have, a lot of people are going to attack us and try to bring us down. So we might as well go do something with our lives and say thank you for the feedback and move on.
This is not about, oh, I'm tough, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm tough. Of course I'm tough, but I'm smart too. I'm more smart than tough. And people watch on my record and they think, oh, this guy tough. This is not about tough. This is about mind. This is about how you think when you fight. Like, this is about...
We've been told two lies in our life. The first lie is, you're nothing. You're not worth anything. That's the first lie. The second lie we've all been told is you can be anything. It's not true. The way we're wired defines what we can do with that wiring. And therefore the truth is, you can't be anything you want, but you can be everything you are. It's said that the human mind has 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of them are negative. And negative, highly based on things we can't control. When you're focusing on something you can control, you're not having a negative thought, even if you're dealing with negative information. When you're seeing yourself focusing on things you can't control, that's when you don't want to be. Anytime a thought comes into your mind, I want you to stop and ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is yes, go right in and get involved. If the answer is no, gather the information and then switch over to focusing on what you can control.
My dad always said too that regardless of what you do in life and where you go, respect is going to be given when it's earned, and you have to go out and earn it every single day.
I was poor because I didn't have anything. I had no money, I had no things, we had no TV, we had no refrigerator, we had nothing as kids, but I was rich because I had a dream.
One time my mom said, you need to get a job. I said, I already have a job. I'm just not getting paid yet. Actually, I have a career.
That's a huge punchline.
Real stuff, man. I'm working on my dream. That's my job. If I'm going to pay attention to my nightmare, I should be able to work on my dream. Well, one of them is going to take my energy. I would rather give my energy to my dream than my nightmare.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard. Those times when you stay up late and you work hard. Those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
People can't get up in the morning and they can't get out of bed. I'm going to tell you why. Because they can predict the feeling of everything that's going to happen in their life. And their body's resigned to the familiar. It says, oh, another mundane day. But remember when you were a kid and you were going on a field trip? What happened then? You were up and dressed and ready to go before your parents were up. You know why? Because you knew something unexpected was going to happen. That's how we should live our lives. Waking up with the understanding to expect the unexpected, and something unusual should happen in our life as a result of our efforts.
Once you get over the fear of being embarrassed, no one likes to be embarrassed, but once you get over being scared of being embarrassed, it's super liberating. And it allows you to go into lanes that otherwise you wouldn't go into.
Life is hard sometimes. Easy, it's not an option. But it's worth fighting. It's worth believing. It's worth giving yourself a chance. It's worth mustering yourself up, standing up inside yourself. It's worth fighting relentlessly, never giving up. It's worth it. You can do it. You can do it.
There's problems that we go through that cause stress, worry, anxiety, and fear, but you might be in the battle of your life. I want to encourage you. It's not about what's happening around you. It's always about what's happening inside of you.
Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean you have to be afraid. Just because you feel discouraged doesn't mean you have to be discouraged. Just because you have fear doesn't mean fear has to have you.
Every human being has genius level talent. There are no chosen one. God is giving every single person genius level talent. You just have to find what it is that you're great at and then tap into.
Sell me this pen. It's a amazing pen. It's for professionals. Sell me this pen.
It's a nice pen. You can use the pen to write down thoughts from your life so you can remember.
The reason why grandmama's cooking was so good, because she didn't cook Sunday dinner, Sunday evening. She started Saturday night. And she let it marinate overnight. That's why it was so good. The reason why your gift is not like all these other gifts that are so microwavable is because God's put something in you that is too great. And you gotta know that what's inside of you is so great that it's taking a little bit longer, because God did not call you to be microwavable. He wants you to know that what's inside of you is like grandmama's greens. So don't give up. Your time is coming. Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Do you feel like you judge yourself?
I don't, and it's what I want for everybody else. I talk to everybody the way I talk to myself, which is why I talk so nicely to everybody. I hold myself accountable. Doesn't mean you go and be reckless. I'm not delusional when I fuck up and I suck. It's just that I just don't overjudge it. Everyone's tearing themselves down. What the fuck are you doing that for? Everybody else is doing it for you. It's nice to have standards. I'm not saying that, but like this notion of beating yourself up when you fall short on something that is a standard or an ambition is incredibly unhealthy. You're just a human being. You're doing the best you can.
Every decision that you make should be to serve this brotherhood that you've now earned a spot in. It's so special. Never take that brotherhood for granted, guys. And when times gets hard, let that brotherhood drive you forward. So never let society's opinions dictate how great you can become.
Somebody told me your devotion won't start off as devotion. Devotion starts off as a discipline. Like you do it just because you have to do it. I hate working out. But what happens is when I make a plan to go work out, it's a discipline. I'm there. I'm gonna do it. It doesn't matter. But after a while of doing the discipline turns into a desire. And the day you miss, you'd be like, man, I didn't work out today. I need to go work out today. What you have to know is that spending time with God in prayer, spending time with Him in worship, it may start out as a discipline. I'm gonna set this 24 minutes every day, or this 30 minutes, or this 10 minutes, wherever you need to start. What begins to happen is it turns into a desire. And just like when you get a good drink, like a good drink, like one that you gulp it, you don't want to stop because it's quenching something on the inside.
I believe there's mass confusion going on as to what happiness actually is. So here's what happiness isn't. Despite what you may have heard, happiness is not a choice. You can't just kick back and say, I choose happiness, and then have it happen. But wouldn't that be great, though, in life, if we could just choose things and have them happen automatically? No, it's not a choice, but it does begin with a choice. And once you've made that choice, like any choice in life, it has to be backed up with action to make it a reality.
Many of us in this place, we're tempted not to wait on God. We're tempted to do God's job, and we're trying to accelerate things. I just want to encourage you that every time you do this, what you do is you're settling for a counterfeit. Listen, you were promised unconditional love. Don't settle for lust. You were promised joy. Don't settle for pleasure. You were promised peace. Come on, there's a whole world out there that's settling for temporary prescription relief. You were promised purpose, but so many people are settling for worldly prosperity. You were promised security. Don't settle for earthly accolades. Keep trusting God. Wait on God.
I've been praying to God, ready for marriage, and God may speak. Yes, I have a marriage for you, but this is not it. Why, God? Because you're unequally yoked. See, you love the Lord, but this person does not. And you're thinking that you're going to change this person, and you may feel like you love this person, but this person doesn't know love yet because they haven't encountered God. And all who live in love live in God, and God lives in them. And God gives us these warnings, but sometimes it can be.
God is not everybody's friend. He's only friend to those who fear him. A person who fears God has his heart. A person who fears God knows God. Because why? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowing God intimately. The Bible says friendship is reserved for those who fear God. Abraham was God's friend. God says, I will share with you before I decide what I'm going to do with Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot's a righteous man. He has no fear of God. He has no clue to what's about to happen to Sodom and Gomorrah. A person that fears God knows him intimately.
The reason why people are depressed and down is because they're not doing what they love. They're doing what they have to. That's what the workforce and the work world do. It steals dreams. People have to compromise their dreams just to survive.
The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. When you love the journey, the goals just happen. You hit milestones as a side effect. When you fall in love with the journey, everything else takes care of itself.
We had some laughs. It was fun. You know, all good things must come to an end eventually.
If you just worked out and actually were proud of your body at its purest form, naked in the mirror, right? You would have the highest level of confidence that no Rolex, that no filler, that no Jordans, nothing, that no Ferrari can buy, because you're really, when you're driving in the Ferrari, you're literally borrowing the credibility of that car.
Do you feel like you judge yourself?
I don't, and it's what I want for everybody else. I talk to everybody the way I talk to myself, which is why I talk so nicely to everybody. I hold myself accountable. Doesn't mean you go and be reckless. I'm not delusional when I fuck up and I suck. It's just that I just don't overjudge it. Everyone's tearing themselves down. What the fuck are you doing that for? Everybody else is doing it for you. It's nice to have standards. I'm not saying that, but like this notion of beating yourself up when you fall short on something that is a standard or an ambition is incredibly unhealthy. You're just a human being. You're doing the best you can.
They told me